What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. Yes, we've got the fresh tea on representing. You know the trick. You know the score. Just a quick one. We are going to talk about McTominay, Fulham back in the race for him. It seems like eventually we are going to get the bid, the supposed bid. Praying to God that we do. Also, Berge. Bid on the table for him. That's very, very interesting. Is that as well as another midfielder, or is that the Uwate replacement? I want to talk about Pellistri going to Greece and double checking because I can't see it. Am I live? There we go. Yeah. Sorry, it took a while to come on YouTube Studio then. So I hope you're all doing very, very well. I've been reading some of your comments as I've been setting up and doing the graphics, and yeah, hope you're good. Hope you're mentally good. Hope you're physically well, and hope you're kicking this week's ass, as they say in America. But yeah, hope you're all good. Plenty to discuss, plenty to talk about. Sorry we didn't go live last night because there wasn't plenty to discuss. And what we're not going to do is just go live for the sake of it and come up with some nonsense, basically, like a lot of the other channels do. We want to talk about stuff that's actual concrete and that's put out there, or at least been put out there by media and reports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the topics and stuff. Same thing to people. Thank you for the gifts on TikTok. Appreciate that, by the way. It's Bri. Appreciate that very much. Do get your thoughts, feelings, opinions in. You know the crack with this show. I have my say, you have your say, and we have a debate about it. That is how these transfer shows work. So smash like in the video and subscribe to Real Reds Talk. And if anyone can guess the player, if you know me well, if the community knows me well, and people on TikTok know me well, if you can guess the player that is on the back of this, I don't know what I'll do. I'll sing a song for you. I'll give you a giant shout out. I don't know what. We'll think of something. If I could gift direct memberships, I would gift one. But if enough people get it right, I might gift 5. I might give 5 memberships. Let's see how it goes. Sorry. And yeah, get your who you think's on the back of it in, and we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. Right. Before I do, actually, let me just say hello to a few people because there's quite a few people in the chat. Richard, Charlie, Dan, Random Guy, Jonathan Ball, McMillan. I don't want to miss anyone out at all, just in case. Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, I already read that out. Loads of yous. Yeah, appreciate you, brothers. Thank you very much for tuning in. Someone saying Nick's having his lunch. I'm not even eating. I've only had a coffee. I was in a rush sorting out the graphic and stuff for this. If McTominay and Pellistri go, we're getting Uwate, definitely. Maybe get 6th on Friday's performance. 6 midfielders, I think he's alluding to there. Right, okay, should we dive into this McTominay story then? Let's talk McTominay. So breaking news, Fulham have reopened talks with Manchester United over signing Scott Mctominay. Fulham had 2 bids rejected and weren't expected to go back in unless United were willing to negotiate on an asking price. Fulham now expected to make improved offer if talks go positively. Crystal Palace and Brighton are interested in signing Scott McTominay. Fulham remain interested and Napoli are also keen, but McTominay would apparently prefer to stay in the Premier League, which could make it potentially a little bit more difficult. Now, the line that says wasn't willing to negotiate unless United negotiate. No. Don't let them fool you on that one. Napoli, they saw that interest in Napoli, agreeing personal terms that Conte really wants the player, and now they're shitting the rundies. Let's call a spade what a spade is, because you don't sit there and you don't go, well, we'll give you 20. And United are like, nope. And they go, right, we're not interested then. All of a sudden, you see online, Napoli are like, oh, personal terms agreed, they're pushing for the player. You got Marco Silva tapping the chairman, Fulham chairman, going, can we go back in? Because it looks like he's actually going to go. And they're going, yeah, of course, Marco, of course. Let me just change my undies first, and then we'll get the deal sorted for you. I'm sorry, I'm really, really sorry. So, yeah, it seems like they're going to go back in for him. And look, when we talk, I know Sam and Chivy spoke about this extensively on the show on Sunday Social yesterday. And check it out if you haven't seen that, by the way. But I kind of want to give my take on this, and I have to agree with both of them. I think you look at the market and the players that have gone so far. Dewsbury Hall, Smith Rowe, Oliver Skipp, even you go over to Europe, like players like Thuram going to Juventus for, I think it was like 25 million or something. That level of player, that calibre of player, what McTominay brings. Look, I know sometimes United fans kind of slag him off a little bit. I don't think any of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are happy with him, to be fair. But he's limited in certain ways, isn't he? So I get why people would be like, he's not worth more than that. But what he brings, he still scored double figures last season for United in all competitions from midfield. That's a lot. That's a lot. And regardless, whatever you want to say about his game and overall thing, bringing that to a team is worth that much. Is worth 20, 25 million, you know? So I think you look anywhere, Oliver Skip, especially going for 25, I think it's 20 plus 5 in add-ons, I think David Ornstein reported. Are you telling me Oliver Skip's better than McTominay or more impactful than McTominay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If Oliver Skip was in United's team, he wouldn't even get Oliver wouldn't get a fucking sniff. He'd skip the line. He'd skip training because he wouldn't be good enough. I don't know what analogies I can use for that. But you take my point. The market he's worth 25 to 30 million. That's not me saying it because I've got my red tinted glasses on, rose tinted glasses, whatever. That's me saying it because that is the valuation. He's not. No one can tell me that he is worth fucking 15 million quid. No one on this planet. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe back in the day, yeah. Maybe you're looking at that and you're going, okay, all right. But he's a valuable asset, and I don't know necessarily if we need to sell him. But that's the other concern I'm worried about. Are they going to use that money towards Uwate to bump that up a little bit? Or are they still going to get Uwate and then use that money on a Sander Turd? Keep pronouncing his name wrong. Sander Turd or someone else. So, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I do think they'll get the money because McTominay is he's a coach's delight. He never gets injured. I mentioned the double figures as well. All it takes for one club now is to go, even if it's 20 with 5 in add-ons, but achievable, very achievable add-ons. So, I don't know. He plays 10 games, scores a couple of goals. We'll give you 5 million extra. Sweet, fine. We get that. Again, I feel like I say this all the time, but academy prospect, so full profit. Yeah, I'm up for that. People said the same about De Ligt and Mazraoui at Bayern. And by affordable, I mean for a top player. How much are we getting for Scott? It got to be worth 35. We're not getting near 35. I'll tell you that for a fact. Probably around 25 million, I'd say. But what do you look? I put in the chat. I'll put in the poll. Sorry. Do you think we'll finally get the asking price for McTominay? 80% think we will, and 20% think not. So yeah, I think a lot of people seem positive and optimistic about that, which is always nice to see. Right, I'm going to dive back into the comments and see what you important people are saying. Big up everyone in the chat. Please do smash a like on the video. Get more people involved. Let's get more opinions flowing. Dan Fenton, I'd rather get rid of Ericsson, Lindelof, Hannibal instead of Scott. If we get Uwate, then we need Scott and Ericsson. Lost his legs. Thing is, though, with Lindelof's injured and on crutches at the minute, so I don't think a team's going to buy him unless they're willing to be like, okay, we'll wait a couple of months until he can start or get a bit of a bit knocked down, basically, off his feet. And then with Ericsson, you're not going to get a lot of money for Ericsson. We signed him on a free when he was like 29, 30 anyway. He's not playing regular football. He hasn't really got the legs for 90 minutes. So a team coming in for him, you'd think it'd be like somewhere like Pellistri's just gone, which we're going to touch on towards the end, like a Panathinaikos or, in a different league where it's hot, then it's not as intense. I think something like that. But like I said, you ain't going to get a lot of money for Christian Eriksen. It's going to be pennies, mate, to be fair. Random Guy saying, the more competition for McSauce, the merrier. Thank you very much, Random Guy, for the super chat, brother. But I always appreciate that. Yeah, the competition, absolutely. I mean, the teams that are on the badge is around 6 teams interested in him. So if you can't, that's where Ineos aren't doing the job, because if you have that much, if you're generating that much interest, you have to sell it. If there's just one team in for him, that's where it becomes impossible. Because you can't barter against other clubs. You can't say, oh, well, these are offering this much. And it's just the nature of the market. If you have a popular player that's on demand, his price is going to rise up. And when you have, Napoli, Fulham, Everton, Brighton, couple teams in Turkey that have all generated or put forward their interest, maybe some clubs can't afford him, you have to get that price. Absolutely have to. Random Guys also gifted a Real Red Talk membership. That is because he is an absolute OG, and Jonathan Ball was the recipient of that. So hopefully you enjoy that, Jonathan. I've got an absolute belter of a show that we're doing for the members that I'm going to record straight after this live. And it is Uwate versus Casemiro. And it is a deep depth statistical player profile, how they could work together, what's in future for Uwate, what's in future for Casemiro, like a full breakdown of both players, and I'm excited to get into that. So yeah, members, keep an eye out for that drop in. Maybe tonight, if I can get it edited in time, but we've got another live tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'll see. So yeah. Elite Baller, Nick, how are you today? You're looking really urban. Oh, I'll take that. Urban? I've been called worse things than that, Elite Baller, so yeah, I will take that. I look very pale. I do need a tan, to be fair. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to change my lighting up and go a little bit. Oh, no. I look like Maggie off Benidorm there. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, I look very pale. Really need a tan. But my skin don't agree with sun. Scott isn't on mad wages like Ericsson and Victor. Yeah, he's on 70k a week, McTominay. So if Xerxes didn't get that goal at the weekend, Scott would have. I know. It was like someone described it really, really well. I can't remember who it was. Please say if it was you in the chat. When we went live after the game and did the post-match review, as we always do. And someone described it like the passing of time. It might be, is he McMillan or UTFR? I'm pretty sure. And I've got shit memory, so that's good for me to remember that. One of them said it's like the passage of time, like Xerxes taking over, McTominay, like, you can imagine McTominay in like black and white looking at him like, no, that's my role, what are you doing? Crashing the box, but yeah, we need to move on, man. That's you know, that's how it works. UTFR saying, Oliver Skip is horseshit. McTominay is miles better. Thank you very much. Jonathan saying, McTominay is a great professional and passionate, but unfortunately, he's a very limited midfielder that works well in a system we will not use. Well, you see how Eric Ten Hag talks about him as well. A lot of people were saying they think that's politics, and he's doing basically what Ollie did. Remember with Alexis Sanchez, where he's like, he's a great player, he's going to be back in the team. Sometimes there's football politics, behind it, but I think with McTominay, yeah, I think he genuinely likes him, and it is an asset off the bench. So what I'm saying is I don't think Ten Hag's desperate to sell him, is what I'm saying. McTominay wants a starting place. His academy talent, straight profit. He's limited. Going to help valuable money for valuable additions. Manchester is red forever. Hi. Hello. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe. Probably 4 million max for Ericsson, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say. Pellistri sell, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Nick, what is whiter, you or the shirt? Get some posters up, mate, behind you. I promise, loads of people keep egging me about this. I'm going to get some stuff put behind me. People on TikTok can't see, but to people on YouTube, it's in the works. I'm working on some stuff. I've took some inspiration from the comments, some suggestions from you guys. There will be stuff behind me here, but it's just plain old me in a minute. And in terms of what's whiter, me on my shirt, I mean, like, it's the shirt, innit? It's got to be. It's not far away, though. I've once been described as a pint of Cravendale, so yeah, take that for what you will. Now, sticking with the midfield targets, we are going to discuss Sander Turd, also known as Sanderberg. So this is from Simon Jones in the Mail Sport, who, when it comes to Brandthwaite news, very, very good. I'm not sure about other ties, but we'll stick with Simon for a minute. We'll put trust in him. He's saying Manchester United have made an offer for Sanderberg, but are short of Burnley's £30 million valuation. What we've just been talking about. But while PSG's Manuel Ugarte is favoured if they drop their asking price of 52 million. So that suggests to me it's either or. No, not that they're going to go and get both. I think they should get both. You need depth. Because if Casemiro gets injured, which is inevitable, which you know he's going to do, he's going to pull his hamstring, he's going to do something daft, and he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. If you want to get Ugarte in there, that's a lot of... I think you do need depth. I go back to it. Ten Hag discussed survival of the fittest. And it's the season, it seems like it's going to go that way. Survival of the fittest. You need almost an army. Maybe Chelsea are fucking, looking beyond the years and actually going to turn out to be geniuses because they've got a squad of 45. They're probably thinking, I don't know, 15, 20 of them are going to get injured. Don't worry about it. We've got another 20 players. We've got literally a brand new squad who can just come in and play. So actually, maybe Todd Bowley's a genius. No one's ever thought of it like that, have they? When you're playing so many games in Europe, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, the Premier League, other Club World Cup, I'm sure, at some point, other nonsense Nations Leagues, international breaks. I mean, there's competitions coming out your ears at the minute. And maybe they are looking at it. Maybe it's Chelsea the smart ones. Who knows? I mean, they certainly... Just on their performance yesterday, I know this is the United channel, but I just want to quickly say, I didn't think it was as bad as everyone was making out. I know City beat them and it was 2-0, but I still think there was patches where they actually looked all right. But obviously, reactionary fans on social media doing the thing. I didn't think they played too bad. I thought it was okay. Midfield, I'd be a bit concerned about. I mean, they spent £250 million on Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo, I think. And the player that they sold, Kovacic, to City to for 30 million was better than all of them. That's the concerning thing, more to the point. That's what I'd worry about. Right, let's... sorry, back to Sam the Turd. I got slightly distracted then. So, can he make a bigger difference than Ugarte? If it's one or the other, are we sat here looking at both players and going, well, we only want Ugarte because he plays for PSG, big valuation, bigger reputation, or would some people actually prefer Sander Turd? Because some people are saying systematically he would suit us more. Now, maybe he would, but I'm talking about quality. Why have no other big clubs gone in for him? People could say the same about Uwate, but PSG bought him from Sporting because of how good of a season he's had. So I think Uwate's ceiling is bigger. He's only 22, 23 years old. He eats a lot more ground up than Sanderberg does. I think positionally Sanderberg's better. He is more of a natural 6, I'd say. But Sanderberg's 26, 27, I think. So you get more longevity with Uwate as well. So no big clubs have gone near Sander Turd. Not one Premier League club. If he was outstandingly good and the standout option, he would have moved already from the Championship. If Dewsbury Hall is moving to Chelsea, let's say, for 30 million quid, Sander Turd should have gone already. And I think Dewsbury Hall's better, probably. But I also think it's going to be a flop because I just think everything that's going on with Chelsea at the minute is just, weird. So, if people are pushing the narrative to say, well, systematically he suits us better, go get Ndidi then from Leicester. You know? Are we just getting players because there's a lot of players out there who technically suit the system, but you need those quality levels. Like I said, you need both signings. Depth in that area. And then you can rotate as well. I discussed that a little bit more on the video I do with Uwate versus Casemiro and how potentially they could work together. And I speak about that a lot more in depth. So keep an eye out for that, like I said. But Sander Turd just doesn't get me up in the morning. You know, just does not do it. Right, let's back to the comments. Legends. Richard is saying like, subscribe, and interact. Yes, please. Manchester's red forever. Manuel Ugarte to Manchester United. Any update on it? Well, I'll just give the update, so hopefully that answers your question. Stream with Mark and Man United fan. I don't know if you're on about Mark Goldbridge, but I don't think that'll happen. We would have to let Ericsson go on a free for buying the team to cover his 150k a week wages. Can't imagine McTominay in a Napoli shirt. What a drop-off handshake to mix sauce. To be honest, under Conte likes players who are going to absolutely graft for him. And any coach who's worked with McTominay, whether it's Mourinho, Ole, Ragnick, Ten Hag, love him because of his application. So I don't necessarily think he'll be, I don't necessarily think it'll be a top signing for him or a midfield priority. I think he'll be a good chunk of part of the squad. It's an opportunity to play in Italy. According to reports, he wants to stay in the Premier League, so I'm not sure. That shirt's mega, Nick. Is it a China special, or are you funding the Glazers? I'll leave that to your imagination, UTFR. Sorry, so many comments. Chelsea using the lesser known 14-20-13 formation. Yeah, they're ahead of the game, mate. Ahead of the game. Todd Bowley giving out these 10-year contracts to Palmer or whatever it is. 40-odd players. He sees the future. There's going to be 1 million games a season. And it's like almost going to be like last man standing in it. By the end of the season, they've got like a 5-a-side left of fucking Palmer and Kunku, Casado, Chalobah back in. Crazy. Feels similar to how Xerxes was about to be to AC Milan bound, and we moved McTominay about to be Napoli bound, and Fulham make a move. Scott would do well in Serie A, but keep him in the Premier League. I think history tells you that any United player who's moved to the Italian league has done pretty well. I'd go as far to say, if Maguire moved to the Italian league, he would be one of the best centre-backs in the league. Hands down, one of the best centre-backs in the league. I fully believe that. You look at Smalling, people at Roma were calling Smalling Smaldini. I'm pretty sure Ashley Young won a Scudetto, or at least a league title, with Inter Milan. Alexis Sanchez, I think, won a couple of things. Darmian played in a fucking Champions League final against City at centre-back. So, majority of players that go there do pretty well. Some of these comments I'm seeing about Berge are delusional. Well, talk to me, Harry. Barry? Is it Barry or Harry? I can't see. Barry or Harry? Talk to me. Why are they delusional? Give me your opinion. Don't just leave that short bit. You need to expand on that slightly, if you can. Nick Millen, breaking. Tuto Napoli has just said Fulham have just matched United's 30 million asking price. Interesting. Wow, let's have a look. You got a Romano here. A McMillan Romano. Exclusive. Here we go. Let me have a look. Let's see if there's any reports on it. I can't see any reports. No. The Sun have just reported, though, Scott Mctominay is desperate to remain in the Premier League, with 3 clubs now tracking him: Crystal Palace, Brighton and Fulham. So there's another club on top of it. That's 7 clubs that are interested in him. You've got to get that fee. I'm telling you, you have to get that fee. I can't see anything personally about McTominay on that thing, but I trust your soul, so wherever you got it from. You've got to get that money now, innit? Simple as that. I think we should sign Tony from Complicated Pete, is that? I'll pledge it or something. Ivan Toney's probably going to go Saudi, mate. I don't see United. We haven't got... We're struggling to get Duarte because of outgoings and stuff. So anything like Tony towards the end of the window, if we had sold the Sancho and a couple of others, I would probably say maybe it'll happen. But as it stands right now, I don't think so. And I'm shocked Brentford won yesterday, by the way, without him. Yeah, really shocked. I thought Crystal Palace would not batter him, but I thought they'd win. Yeah, sorry, I keep erming. Just let me go to the comments. Raheem Sterling, first of many public statements, I suspect. Yeah. Bang on the money, that. Muppeteers did say Berge does have other options in the Premier League. Who, though? If they really wanted him, why did they not push for him? Klopp didn't want Berge a few years ago when he played for Genk, but didn't get him. Why didn't they push for him? You know, if they want a player so bad, why not go and get him? You know, you've seen it with loads of coaches. If they really, really want something, the club will back him and go get him. I'm not saying he's a bad player, by the way. I think people are kind of misconstruing what I'm saying. I think he's a decent player. I just don't think he's, you know, again, I always fall back to, would the top teams have him in there? If the answer is no, then why are we having him as your dominant 6? It's a more of a plaster signing than a statement signing for me. But I agree with some people. I get like, you know, it does suit us. It does suit the system. Maybe it turned out to be good. And I'm one of the first players. I'm not a player. I might be with this shirt on. But I'm one of the first people to turn around and say, I was wrong about him. Happy he's done well. What a shrewd signing that is. Great. But I have to give my opinion on it. And I have to tell you how what the gut's saying to me. So, yeah. If we get 30 mil for Scotty, we'll also get 10 mil for Pellistri. We can get both Berge and Duarte. Harry Berge. Yes, he did. Young and Darmian was considered the top fullbacks. Exactly. True, sometimes the Italian league is a better fit for certain players. Saw this report posted on Twitter. Yeah, sorry, I can't see it on my feed, but yeah, I trust you. Thing is, with Italian press, it's almost like the Portuguese press. I don't trust them as much because they push stories a lot more than what's the actual concrete information. The Portuguese press are the absolute worst for it. But the Italian press do it as well, like Gazzetta and Tutto and all them. Brighton seems strange. They like football players. I thought that. As soon as I saw Brighton, I was like, McTominay in a Brighton setup? Don't really see it. I thought West Ham was a perfect move for him last season. I thought that was perfect. And now you're looking at it saying, should you have taken it? Because what did we get to 30 mil bid? Last season, he's gone on and scored 10. So he's got to be like, you can't sell him for less than that now when you rejected it last season. That's just stupid. I'd take Amrabat over Berge. That's from UTFR. Interesting. And Chelsea wants Sancho, apparently. Yeah, we did glaze over that last week. I don't know, it's absolute bullshit. Even for Chelsea, I would be astonished if Chelsea signed him. Yeah, that's where at the moment I'd go, yeah, they fucked it. They've absolutely fucked it. You can't. You've got the attacking players that they've got. I mean, you've got Madueke sat on the bench, or not even on the bench, I don't think. They've got Sterling, who weren't even in the squad. They've got Palmer. They've got Nkunku, who was playing on the left-hand side yesterday. I mean, they've got so many attacking players. Why on earth would you need Sancho? Makes no sense. It's Sander Berge. No, it's not. It's Sander Turd. Sorry, mate. Get with it. Right, on to Pellistri. This is from Fabrizio, I can't say his name, Fabrizio Romano. Panathinaikos are in advanced talks to sign Facundo Pellistri from Manchester United. Fees that are being spoken of around, I think it's £10 million, or it might be a little bit lower than that, a couple of like tiny add-ons or whatever. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Uruguayan manager before Marcel Bielsa, or whatever his name is, I'm pretty sure that's the dude now that's managing Panathinaikos. I'm sure someone mentioned that to me. So, obviously, that makes sense. He knows Pellistri's quality. Pellistri will probably go there and be one of the best players in the league. That's the quality over there. And that's no slight on Pellistri. But I believe that, you know, just the quality levels drops so much. If anyone could tell me one player in the Greek league, I'd be surprised. So, yeah, I think good move for him. I mean, obviously the lifestyle, people don't think about that. People are like, oh, they'll drop off in quality or whatever. But living in Greece, getting paid thousands a week, you know, it's still a nice lifestyle, isn't it? You know what I mean? And he's going to get guaranteed minutes. He's going to be one of the stars of the league. I think it's a good move. It's a good move. He's never, ever going to get any minutes with the wingers in front of him. We all know how saturated that situation is. You've got Rashford, Garnacho, Ahmad, Anthony, Sancho. And with Anthony and Sancho on the bench, who are worth a combined fee of like 150 million quid, Pellistri ain't getting a sniff, mate. He's not getting a sniff. So, obviously, that's just better for him. I think we did pay around 10 million for him, though, initially. So, we're not making money on it, which will be a disappointment in United's eyes. But if you can get that back, he's not going to be a player that's used. Someone mentioned it again in the chat. You take that money from the pot, and then you go spend it on the current targets that you have. Techie Baller, do you think Man United will win the league? No. There's a short answer to that. Had some good spells when he got an opportunity, but didn't grab it by the scruff of the neck. Exactly. Also, can we all just collectively share a prayer for Shreyas, as he'll be absolutely devastated if he leaves. He might be in tears because he absolutely loves Pellistri. I actually remember us doing a show, I think it was like last year, and we was discussing between us who's going to get into who's more likely to get into the squad, Pellistri or Ahmad. And it was around the time when Pellistri was actually getting minutes in like Europa League, and I think he scored against Real Betis or assisted or something. And he had like a short stint, didn't he, where he was in the team for a good few games, didn't really take his opportunity, and then he was brought back out, and then you never really saw him again, went on loan, did his thing. And then I was like, listen, Ahmad, that's the one thing I would. I'm not one of those guys to say, I told you so, I'm right, blah, blah, blah. But with Ahmad, I will happily push that out there, push that ball. I've been driving that bus since early fucking Atalanta days when I was watching him before he signed for United. And I'm so happy he's doing well. I thought his last performance was pretty shit, to be honest. I don't think he was. The first 10, 15 minutes, I thought he was decent. But after that, he went really, really quiet. But big season for him, I believe. Big season. Pellistri goes. I wish him all the best. I still think we could have a De Jong twist still after Uarte. My cupboard sauce is saying your cupboard sauce must be mouldy tomato sauce. You know when it's around the edges and it's all like hardened and it's like, yeah, that's the sauce. Whoever's reporting that, but I know it's kind of tongue in cheek. Alonso is the manager at Panathinaikos and he's the former Uruguay coach. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Good news that Angel Gomez was okay. Yeah, nasty injury, wasn't it? Was it a head injury? I think I didn't actually see the clip. I just saw news reports coming out that he's had a bad injury. So hopefully he's okay and he's recovering well. He had a massive reputation when he was at United. A lot of people expected big things of him, but then there was kind of concerns with his height and physicality for the Premier League. But he's still an absolute baller and looked the part back in the day. Mason Mount scored 2 goals on his debut for Marseille. I think he means Mason Greenwood. If he keeps this up, he can make an extra 20 mil on him. Yeah, because we got we put in a sell-on clause, wasn't it? 50% sell-on clause. So if he keeps going the way he's going to get himself back up to probably a fee that he should have been worth before everything happened, and it'll probably be worth 70, 80 million again, and go to a big team then, and then we recoup 30, 40 million, which is great business. That's something I think. Under the previous regime, you never ever saw, did you? Like putting in sell-on clauses or smart little things that you've seen with a lot of the deals. Buyback clause. I think we've done one with Kambwala, and there was a couple of others. Now they've started to do that. Just thinking long term, just smart. We had idiots, didn't we? Before we brought Ineos in, absolute idiots. Idiots. That is good to hear about Angel Gomez. Last I heard, he was at the hospital. Yeah, it was a head injury. Yeah, so hopefully he's okay. Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Anyone who's just tuned in, whether you like, I think a couple of people come over from TikTok over to the YouTube channel, which is always nice to see. We're on 6,537. We're going to do something big when we hit 10k for all the loyal supporters and people who are constantly in the chat every single day and take time out of the day to discuss Man United, the club that we all love. Now, did anyone get who I've got on the back of this shirt? Right, I'm going to reveal it in a couple of minutes' time. And also, any questions? We'll do a bit of a Q&A for the last 5 minutes, maybe, if you would like, or anything you want to discuss. It is your show as well. So, yeah, any topics you want to bring up, and then get your guesses in as well for who is on the back of this shirt. Let's see who really knows me. And I'm only going to take your first guess as who's on the back. So, yeah, get it cooking. Berge 6, Man Utd 8 will cook. You'll see. I'm happy to be proved wrong. Someone's just said Jimmy Savile on the back. No. We need a left-footed player and a left side. Any funny guesses as well, I'm also open to and welcome to. Make me laugh. Who's Sander Turd? Sander Berge, but again, it's a reference for the channel. We call him Sander Turd. I feel bad. Imagine if we actually do an interview in the future with him, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember seeing. I had a look at some of your content back in the day. Do you want to tell me what's going on with Sander Turd?" And then you got that awkward moment where you're like, "Well, I didn't think I'd do an interview with you. It's kind of one of those ones you got to delete back in the day." Greenwood, nope, Greenwood is not on the back of this shirt. That's because he played for Marseille. And even if he did play for United, won't be on the back of my shirt. So, why do you think Berge is a 6? I think Berge is a defensive midfielder. He plays defensive midfield for Burnley. I said Mazraoui, not Mazraoui. Dan saying Martinez, not Martinez, but I have got Martinez on my other shirt. Cravendale. Cravendale in the back. No, he doesn't. Right, someone's trying to tell me that Sander Berge is a defensive midfielder. Who do you watch? Unless you're a Burnley fan and you watch him week in, week out, do you not tell me that Sander Berge is not a defensive midfielder? He might be able to operate as an 8 slightly, but from what I've read and from what I've seen, he isn't even as versatile. He's played centre-back a couple of times as well. So, anyway, right, let's go back to the things. Sorry. If someone I don't know whether to tell people I've got it. Van Nistelrooy in the back, no. Bruno, nope, not Bruno. Defo Phil Jones, no, he's did you see that news the other day on Phil? I know I keep drifting off into other things. He's not. Oh, fucking hell, I'm getting confused there. Someone keeps going on about fucking Sander Turd in the chat. Yeah, with Phil Jones, he announced he's retiring. He's retired the other day. I was like, hey? I thought he retired fucking years ago. He's not kicked a football. God, since he had one game, didn't he, against Wolves. I want to say under Ole. And he was crying at the end of the match. And he was actually okay, to be fair. He did all right. And I'm sure he lasted the full game. And people was like, oh my God, he's better than Maguire. Yeah, and that's the last time we saw him. So what was that, 2020? I think. Somewhere, I mean, time-wise, I might be a little bit off. But I'm pretty sure it was like 2020, 2021. So he's not played in a couple of years. Surely, you're already retired. No clubs are going to come in for you because you are quite literally a football player that is a game of operation. So, yeah, it's just, I thought he was already going into coaching and doing other things. And then you see him, like, announcing retirement. You're like, all right, that's very, very bizarre. I think you got Bruno or Martinez on the shirt. Nope. Should we do a reveal? Not Luke Shaw. No. I think someone's already got it right. Hopefully Man United get back to challenging. Always had a soft spot for them. Who do you support? People, it's people saying Greenwood. That joke's already been made. Sorry to dampen you there. Right, yeah, a couple of people got it right. Come on, you should know me. You should know me who's on the back of this. Right, I'll do the reveal, yeah? If I can. It's going to be a bit awkward with the angle and that, but 1 second. Can we have a drum roll? Ready? I don't know how I'm going to do this because the camera's like... Can I do that? That's the one. Wow, Bosh. Hello, Bosh. Of course. Of course, you've got to have the boy on the back, innit? You know what I mean? Man like Ahmad Diallo. So, yeah, Mark Palmer, UTFR. Alex got it right as well in the chat. Yeah, I've got to do it. I've got to support the boy, innit? Regardless, wherever he goes now. Oh, shit. I've tried moving my thing and my TikTok thing's gone off. But it's alright, I could just hold it there. I look like a weirdo, holding my phone up with one finger. You could have given me all day to guess that and I still wouldn't have got it. That's because you're not in the community. You're not in the YouTube. People know. Well, at least I thought more people would know. But maybe I don't scream his name as much. Ahmad shirt is mint. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm praying he has a good season. Imagine if he leaves, because I think he's got a year left on his deal. So if he leaves, that's going to be like, oh, that's fucking awkward, isn't it? But I think he's going to have a good season. I'm putting faith in him. I've put you on my shirt, Ahmad, in print. Come on, double figures this season. That's what we want. Right, last 5 minutes, like I said. Any questions? Any questions before I head off? Or anything I've missed? Any news you've seen that you would like me to talk about? Please do get it in. Sad to see Pellistri go. It's time though, isn't it? He's not gonna get minutes. So, but I understand. I'm a Rangers fan. Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. Played you in pre-season, of course. Do you want to take Hannibal off us for 5 million? You're more than welcome to have him. Oh, and I've already read that. Do you think we need Scott? I think we need the money more than we need Scott, to be honest. That's what I'd say. Right, I'm going to go off TikTok live because my stand's fucking up. So just 2 seconds. I appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to Real Red Talk if you can. Because this is just, yeah, fucking all over the place. If it's going to let me end it. Right, there we go. Sorry, my stand was just, phone holder weren't holding it. It was sliding off. Right, back to the chat. Anyone? No questions? 30-second kind of, is it the count? I really wish I had the countdown sound on here. Right, yeah. Nick, what do you drive? I drive, how can I put this? I drive the heart and spirit of this channel. That's what I drive. No, I don't drive, mate. Don't drive. I should have done it when I was like 17, 18. I just never got around to it. Breaking news. Real Reds watch-alongs happening if enough people want it. If there's enough demand in the chat, I will do it. But for some reason, whenever we do, transfer shows or breaking news shows or reviews after the game or members video, whatever it is, we always get quite a few people in the chat discussing and blah, blah, blah. But we don't want to put stuff out there if people don't want to watch it. So if there's enough people that want it, I'll happily do it. Happily do it. No problem whatsoever. So yeah. Marshall retiring, Nick. Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. Has he got a club? He's gonna. I feel like the players that leave are just De Gea when he went didn't get a club for a year. Marshall. I'm surprised Donny's got a club. Marshall just floating about. To be fair, Varane went Como, didn't he? Or Cosmo, whatever they're called, and got injured in the first 20 minutes. No club want these players at all. Do you rate Maguire or the little start against Brighton? Great question, McMillan. Usually I'd say I'm going to save it for the preview, but I'll give you an answer. Oh, God, that is a tough one. I think it'd be harsh on Maguire, But I think there'll also be demand from people above him to say, you've been pushing for this deal for ages. Why are you not starting him? So I'll go, yeah. I think he has to start De Ligt and Alessandro. And Maguire will drop to the bench. But, again, I thought Maguire was really, really good. Him and Majari were man of the match for me and Sam after the game. Watch along poll. Okay, let's do a watch along poll then. I was going to say the fans then. That's cringer. You're definitely not fans. You're friends. Right, so let's start a new poll if I can. Right. Should we bring watch along back? Let's see. We had 42 votes on that other one as well. Thank you very much. Apparently, Harry Baresi might be injured and not make Brighton. Well, there you go. There's your answer then. De Ligt definitely starting if that's the case. Who's the player you most wish had an injury-free career? Mine's Robbo. Now, I wasn't young enough to appreciate Robbo. Obviously, he's an amazing player from bits that I've seen, but I was born in 95, so I didn't see any of his career in my lifetime, But a player that dodged injuries. You know what? This might be a bit of a niche one, but Louis Saha. I thought Louis Saha was fucking an absolute killer of a striker, but he had bad injuries. Bad injuries, like knee injuries and other little bits. He was one, I'd say. For another one, let me think. It's hard. I'm trying to think who had really bad injuries. Varane's one, I was like, when we bought him, that's such good business, 40 million quid. Raphael Varane, still relatively young. Well, not young, but like, he weren't old, was he? He weren't like 35. And I thought that could be really, really good. And had Varane not been as injured as much as he was, he made such a big difference when he was in the team. I mean, you even saw that in the final, didn't you? against City. Him and Leach together were really, really good. And if they'd stayed fit all season together, one of the best partnerships in the league, I think. So, yeah. Great question, that, though, Jonathan. I bought a Ronaldo shirt, and then it all went downhill. You're not the only one, Mark. I got a Ronaldo shirt as well. Team viewer with a cup thing on, font on the back. Delita and Martinez start on Saturday, and Xerxes, what you think, mate? I think so. Whether Xerxes will start, I don't know. I'd be more... I'd lean more towards Delita starting than Xerxes. Nick, when you go to the games, where do you go for a beer? Real Reds meet up. So, usually, I'll either go hotel football downstairs, where you got the geezer with the acoustic, get a pint of Madre, or sometimes I'll just go to like a local, like near mine, and then get the tram up from Trafford Centre to Salford Quays and do that, usually. But it just depends who I'm going with, really. If we're going with a girlfriend, probably go to like a local round here. To hotel football downstairs and then go straight to the game. I drive a Citroen Berlingo and apparently my missus up the wall. I like that, Dino. Louis Sahar's a great call. I have a Volkswagen. That's what I drive. A Volkswagen. Hargreaves. Yeah, Hargreaves is another one as well. But also we played a couple of games with City, didn't he? So it kind of takes his legacy slightly. I love the watch along, but I'm usually watching the match myself, so I don't interact. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people would just want to watch it on their own, or they want to go and watch it at the stadium. So I'm saying if, like I said, there's enough people that want it, then I'll do it. If Facundo was more like Carew, I would keep him. Alan Smith, what a player he was. Smudge proper pissed on the Leeds fans. Do you think Dallo will shut down Matoma? Well, it depends what side Matoma's playing on. It depends what side Dallo's playing on. It might be Mazraoui up against Matoma. And if it is, then there's a better test for him. I said, we actually put a clip out yesterday on the channel saying, Mazraoui did well against Fulham, but I can't remember who Fulham's left winger was because he didn't out. So I'm kind of sat there like, yeah, he did well on the ball, but he's going to have a tougher test. And someone like a Matoma is the next step up. And then when we play Liverpool, someone like a Luis Diaz will be a different test. And we play Spurs, Song Heung-min, Martinelli. He's going to have a tough test. That's when I'll really judge him. But it could start for Mazraoui. Have you got a Bill Fawkes shirt, though? I haven't. Nick, why hasn't Kodioglu been confirmed yet? Fabi said it was done. What's going on? I don't think Romano said it was done. I'm pretty sure he didn't say it was done. He said there was interest and maybe they're trying to hijack the deal, but Brighton are really close to him as well. With United, I think they're just... I know they can work on multiple signs at the minute, but they're really trying to push this Awate deal through because that's the priority at the moment. So any deal like Kadioglu or Hermosa, who I don't think we're going to get, any little signing like that or Amrabat towards the end of the window, I'd say. That's what, like Bayindir and Amrabat was last season. Richard has a Luke Chagbrook shirt, though. Oh, wow. Done my test in 76, failed it, and never got it done again. Yeah, that's what I mean. To be honest, I should drive, but I just never, ever got round to it. I have no idea. Too busy doing this, to be fair. Okay, if that is that, and unless... Why are stabbings trending on Twitter, man? Jesus Christ, this country. Honestly. I'm just seeing if there's any updates at all before I go. Oh, yeah, Romano has... apologies, whoever just put it in the chat. The agreement between Ferdy, Kadioglu and Brighton on personal terms remains done, confirmed. Contract terms are 100% agreed, as reported last week. He wants to take the opportunity and join Brighton. Negotiations between clubs still ongoing, not agreed as of yet. Good player, versatile player, similar to Mazraoui. But maybe they was looking at him for his versatility. I'm not sure if they go in and get him now. I'd take him, don't get me wrong, because I think we need as many players as we can get at this point. And I think he had a good Euros. I remember reading a scout report on him, because obviously I don't watch the Turkish league week in, week out. Breaking the line scout report, I think it was on Kadioglu, and he was raving about him. He's like a Coutinho at left back. I know that sounds really weird, but I think he started as a 10, moved to an 8, and then started playing like wing back. But like in terms of ability on the ball, how he can take it, a little bit similar to Mazraoui. He's very, very good on the ball. He can invert, drop into midfield. He's comfortable everywhere across the pitch. So people were raving about him, but I just don't see that deal happening now, to be fair. Is it this year the Champions League third place teams don't drop into the Europa? We've got to be favourites. Yeah, so teams don't drop into the Europa now from the Champions League. I don't think. Yeah, I'm excited for the Europa League. I think it's definitely a trophy we can win. If, again, history will tell you, if we won the FA Cup, won the Carabao Cup, is it Europa next? Is it Europa League next? Yeah, I'm so happy the Premier League football's back, by the way. Just watching games. That's all I've done all weekend. Just watch football games. And just sit there with a big smile on my face like, oh, praise the Lord, football's back. Got Monday Night Football tonight. Monday Night Football's always good. You got Leicester versus Leicester. James Maddison returning to the King Power Stadium. And then we've got, I can't wait for midweek games to return as well. Well, it'll be Thursday for us, won't it? But yeah, just watching United midweek, watch them on the weekend, all the previews, all the post-match reviews, analysis, excited, very, very excited. And yeah, lovely to have you all in the chat joining me once again. So I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for all your comments and appreciation and likes and all that kind of good stuff. I appreciate every single one of you. We will, I promise. I said it yesterday, we'll be live, but because it was so dry with news, I just didn't want to go live and just talk nonsense for half an hour. So yeah, we will go live later on again at 7 o'clock. There should be a couple of lads on the show. I'm also about to just record this members video after this. So if you want to become a member and get, 3 days early access to it, click the join button next to the notification bell. Or click the link. There should be a link in the description if you want to become a part of the community and support the channel. It's like £2-3 a month, but it goes towards things for the channel and getting guests on and other little bits. So it's not like it's going in our back pocket. It's quite literally being spent back on the channel to improve it, to make it better and better. So yeah, if you want to become a member, then yeah, please do click that join button. And I'll see you later, I suppose. I don't know where you are in the world right now. If you're working, if you, I don't know, could be traveling somewhere, doing whatever. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll chat to you in a bit, yeah?